I had this thought, man. Isn't it wild to be a man in 2025? Like, if you look at our grandparents, they had it all wrong. They worked themselves to death. They carried all that responsibility, fighting all those wars that we read about. Yeah. They just didn't understand what we know now, that life is meant to be enjoyed. And all that old school masculinity stuff, that's the toxic baggage that's weighing you down. You probably heard stuff like this your whole life. Be strong, don't cry, provide for others, build something. That to me sounds like outdated programming right there. We're in the new age now. We're in the age of self-care, the age of living your best life, as they say on the other side, the age where you can finally just exist, not be a slave to the system. No? Think about it. We got more options than we've ever had before. You can spend an entire weekend binge watching anime and nobody can tell you shit. You got a gaming PC or a PS5, that's all you really need. Who wants the stress of the real world when you can level up your character and be immersed in a cool open world on a faraway planet? This new reality is crazy. The real world sucks anyways, and you know it's true. People are dumb and they're annoying. Shit's expensive, whatever. It's hard to do anything these days. What's the point of being a cuck and grinding for pennies when I can game with my boys and not be judged by some mean old hag or told that I'm weird? Girls are fucking awful these days. And social media, yeah, it can be cringe, but it's a part of life now. I can drop a fire-ass fucking meme, get those likes rolling in, funny memes with my boys in the group chat. Always, I'm dying looking at those before we log in for some matches online. And my online boys are more real than any friend I ever had. We talk about our anxiety and the shit that we hate to deal with and actually support each other. I'm not being judged. Life sucks and I'm not the only one that feels like that. Finally. And being depressed, that's not a weakness anymore. It's relatable. Everybody's fucking depressed these days. My mental health struggles aren't something to overcome. They're a part of me now. I can actually share my frustration with all my boys who feel the same. Hell, if I post online, I bet you I would get a ton of support from people who feel the same exact way. And women, don't even get me started on that shit right now. I have adult entertainment. It's right there. It's free. It's endless. And it caters to every possible kink you could possibly have. I can watch any woman I want whenever, whatever mood I'm in. Why deal with the complexity of a relationship when I can just have instant gratification without the emotional investment? No judgment. No performance anxiety. No need to build yourself into something worthy of attention. Just pure, on-demand pleasure. Who doesn't want that? Adult entertainment won't yell at me, cheat on me, take half my shit, win. Women don't like me anyways. I never got the attention other guys did, and I'm not about to lower myself to everyone else's level and work extra hard for fucking scraps. Nah, I'd rather check out. They all let all the other losers deal with the headache. I'm free while you're a slave to society's expectations. I have everything I need to be happy alone, and I don't need any of you judging me. I'll pop a CBD gummy when I'm feeling anxious and done. Problem solved. That's real self-care. I don't know how to cook and who gives a fuck? I'll just DoorDash and Uber Eats. Problem solved again. Living my best life, as they say. The latest PC part to upgrade my system to mass specs, I got that shit on a payment plan. All my problems have been solved by the modern world and I don't need anything or anyone. Sounds like a dream, honestly. Who sounds like the slave here, really? Me or you? Enjoying slaving away at that job you hate, getting yelled at by the girl you love who will cheat on you eventually anyways. With the first chat she crosses paths with, we know it's true. I'll be saving my money, living my life, doing what I enjoy doing. Get off my dick. The world has changed. Sure, my grandfather built his own house. Cool story, bro. Those were different times. And he broke his back to do it anyways. With 7 kids and a wife. I don't need that stress. I got a sick RGB setup in my rented apartment. I can pick up and leave in a new place when I feel like. I'm not tied down to shit. We might have fought in wars, but I'm fighting toxic masculinity by embracing the softer side. Fuck society's old standard of masculinity. I'm not cucking out for a family. I'm not slaving just to feed other people. I'm prioritizing me and only me. He might have raised a family, but I'm raising awareness about male mental health issues on TikTok, and I'm having a real impact, even here on YouTube. The modern world gets guys like us. It understands that being a man doesn't mean you have to be traditionally masculine. That shit, that's old, out the window. You can be whatever you want. Soft, uncertain, dependent. Who cares, bro? It's all on you. There's always another product, another subscription, another piece of content to help you cope if you're feeling empty. I mean, feeling empty is normal anyways. Who the fuck doesn't these days? Everyone feels it. Be honest. Don't lie to yourself. That's why we all got these amazing distractions today, and we're paying for them. And if you're feeling lost, there's a whole community of lost souls online waiting to validate that feeling. Social media is great. Your lack of direction isn't a problem to solve. It's an identity to embrace. Can't find a job that fulfills you? The system's rigged anyway. Fuck it. Can't maintain world skills? That's what YouTube tutorials are for. Watching them counts as self-improvement, even if you never actually do anything. See, the world's got your back now, man. Remember, when you were a kid and everyone told you video games were a waste of time? Look at these streamers making millions. Your gaming addiction is not a problem. It's a potential career path. Sure, you might be 32 and still living with your parents, but that's just being financially savvy in this fucked up economy. Besides, who can afford a house when there are so many new Steam sales every single week and jobs don't pay shit? I have a huge library of games and I haven't even gotten started on half of them yet. I got a long ways to go. And those dating apps are a game changer too. No need to work on yourself or build actual confidence. Just get the right camera angles, copy some bio from Reddit, and start swiping. Use ChatGPT to auto-respond. Yeah, it might feel soul-crushing when no one matches with you, but fuck it, no one else is getting matches either. And that's what premium subscription is for. Pay to boost your profile. Get some artificial matches, feel that brief hit of validation. Who needs genuine connection when you got algorithms feeding your attention? And worst case, I'll just pay for it anyways. Who cares? We're both the same. You pay for it just like me. I just pay her to leave. Women can't love a man anyways. And what? You want to talk about mental health, like your anxiety about the future? Totally normal anyways. Everyone's posting about their mental health struggle these days. That pit in your stomach when you wake up, those racing thoughts keeping you up at night, don't worry about fixing that shit. Just medicate them away, bro. Pop a Xanny, smoke a bowl, order some nootropics from the podcast ad. Chemical solutions for existential problems, my guy. And hey, if reality gets too heavy, then there's always more content waiting. Feeling down? Binge another Netflix series. Lonely? Fire up an OnlyFans subscription. Feeling purposeless? There's probably a TikTok trend you can copy. The feed is endless. The notifications are constant. The stimulation never stops. Your body might be getting soft, but who needs physical strength in this digital age? You see those heart palpitations from energy drinks and processed food? That's just the price of convenience, my friend. That brain fog from porn addiction and sleep deprivation? Everybody's tired these days. That hollow feeling in your chest that gets worse every year? It must be the algorithm not serving you enough dopamine hits. You're doing everything right according to modern standards. You're not causing any problems. You're not making any waves. You're consuming products, engaging with content, generating data. You're the perfect modern man. Docile, distracted, dependent. But hey, sometimes late at night, when the screens finally go dark and the artificial stimulation fades, there's a feeling. This feeling you can't shake. It's like an itch you can't scratch. A voice you can't quite silence, huh? A little restlessness in your bones that no amount of scrolling can satisfy. Maybe it hits you when you catch your reflection in a dark window. That soft, pale figure illuminated by blue light. Maybe it's when you see an old photo of your grandfather standing proud next to something he built with his own hands. Maybe when you realize you can't remember the last time you truly felt alive, truly present, truly real. But don't think about that too much. Don't sit with that discomfort, man. There's always another episode to watch, another game to play, another post to like. The system's got you covered. It's got an endless supply of digital soma to keep those questions at bay, all the existential ones you want to run from. Because as long as you stay distracted, as long as you keep consuming, as long as you don't look too hard at the chains of comfort they wrapped around your soul, you can keep pretending that it's freedom. You know what's wild? The way they've got us thinking weakness is strength. Every time you tweet about your anxiety, every time you post about feeling overwhelmed by basic tasks, you're getting rewarded. The likes pour in. The supportive comments stack up. So brave, they say. Thank you for normalizing this, they'll tell you. The algorithm loves that shit, feeds on it. Your weakness becomes content. Your struggle becomes engagement metrics. Remember when Breaking Bad dropped that line about a man providing for his family? Now we've got guys bragging about being house husbands, celebrating their soft boy status, turning their lack of traditional masculine traits into something kind of like a progressive badge of honor. And sure, there's nothing wrong with staying at home or being emotional, but we both know that's not what this is about. This is about surrendering, about giving up the fight before it even starts. Your favorite anime protagonist might be training to become the strongest version of himself. Hello, Goku. But you're just watching him do it while demolishing another bag of Cheetos, you fuck. That manga character might be facing his demons, but you're just scrolling past another chapter while ignoring yours. The heroes in your games might be saving worlds, but your world keeps getting smaller and smaller, confined to the space between your screens. And these corporations, they're not your friends, but damn if they haven't mastered the art of pretending to be. They've studied your psychology better than you have. They know exactly how to hijack your brain's reward system. That's why you can't stop checking your phone. That's why you keep scrolling even when you're not even enjoying that shit. That's why you buy shit you don't need with money you don't have. The porn industry's got you thinking unlimited access to artificial pleasure is freedom. The gaming industry's got you thinking virtual achievements are as good as the real ones. Social media has everyone thinking performative vulnerability is the same as actual strength. They're all selling you cheap imitations of what your soul really craves. Your grandfather's generation, they had their vices too, but at least they knew they were vices. They didn't try to rebrand alcoholism as wine mom culture or gambling addiction as crypto investing. They didn't have companies trying to convince them that their weaknesses were actually strengths. You got these podcasters telling you that playing video games 12 hours a day is fine because gaming builds problem-solving skills. You got influencers convincing you that being chronically online is okay because we're building communities. And Reddit threads assuring you that watching porn multiple times a day is healthy because it's better than toxic masculinity. The system doesn't want you strong. It doesn't want you clear-headed. It doesn't want you building real connections or developing actual skills because a strong man might say no. A clear-headed man might see through the bullshit. A man with real connections doesn't need parasocial relationships with Twitch streamers. A man with actual skills doesn't need to buy the latest life-changing product. That's the problem. They got you believing that ordering Uber Eats 5 times a week is self-care when it's actually self-destruction. That binge watching an entire series in one weekend is having interests when it's actually avoiding life. And following a bunch of Instagram models is appreciating beauty, you simp, when it's actually just digitally enhanced dopamine exploitation. They're making money off you. And the really fucked up part, the part that would make Tyler Durden throw up in his mouth, we're paying for our own chains, subscribing to our own surveillance, funding our own distraction. Every notification, every autoplay, every recommended for you is another link in the chain they're wrapping around your mind. You think you're too smart to be manipulated? That's exactly what they want you to think. When you're feeling superior about not falling for the traditional advertisement, they're data mining your entire existence, predicting your behavior better than you can, and serving you personally optimized psychological manipulation disguised as content. The Matrix has you, Neo. And unlike the movie, there's no red pill moment where suddenly everything becomes clear. It's more like a slow, creeping realization that everything you think makes you happy is actually designed to keep you miserable. Enough to need comfort, but comfortable enough to never rebel. You know what's fucked up? They've taken every natural male drive and twisted it into something profitable, an addiction. That's right, a profitable addiction. Welcome to capitalism. That instinct to compete and conquer? No. Now you're grinding for achievements in the games designed to never end. The drive to build and create? Here's some Minecraft. Build a virtual castle while your real life crumbles. That desire for respect from other men? Have some Reddit karma instead. Upvote for you. Your natural aggression? Let's suppress that with some weed and SSRIs. And the sexual energy? Come on, the hub got you covered. Delivering more novel mates in one session than your ancestors saw in a lifetime. Your need for purpose? Here's a battle pass, brother. Complete that before the summer. And your hunger for status? Here's some Instagram likes and followers. You see, the modern world has become an all-you-can-eat buffet of empty calories for your masculinity. Fast food for the soul. And just like that real buffet, they're counting on you stuffing yourself with cheap imitations until you're too bloated to hunt for the real nourishment. Remember when you were a kid, how you wanted to be a warrior, an explorer, a builder? Now you're a consumer, a user, a subscriber. Your dreams didn't die. They were carefully replaced with microtransactions. Your potential wasn't wasted. It was monetized. Those games that you're playing, they're literally designed around the concept of grinding. Repeating the same actions over and over for incremental rewards. Does that sound familiar? It's your life, bro. Clock in, clock out, get paid, buy shit, repeat. But at least in real life, you used to build something. Now you're grinding in games after grinding at work. Wow. And social media, it's turned you into a performing monkey. Dancing for likes, sharing your L's for engagement, converting your pain into content. Your depression isn't something to overcome anymore. It's your personal brand. Your anxiety isn't an enemy to defeat. It's your community identity. The New Age males, the real genius of it all, they convinced you that noticing any of this makes you a conspiracy theorist. Question why you need their products to feel okay? You're being paranoid, brother. Wonder why you can't focus without stimulants? Must be your ADHD. Here's a pill. And why every solution to your problems involves buying something? Stop being so negative. You're not allowed to be angry about this. Anger isn't advertiser friendly. You're not allowed to fight back. Fighting is toxic masculinity. You're not allowed to reject it either because that's problematic. Just consume, comply, and keep scrolling. Your testosterone levels are plummeting. Did you know that? Must be age. Couldn't be the microplastics in everything you eat and drink. Can't build muscle? Buy more supplements. Can't focus? Try a nootropic stack. Can't feel anything? Here's some more content to scroll through. The machine needs you soft, physically, mentally, and spiritually soft, because soft men are profitable men. Soft men need more products, more subscriptions, more distractions. Soft men don't question why they feel empty inside. They just pull out their credit cards and order something to fill the void. And the void is getting bigger, isn't it, brother? The games aren't as fun as they used to be. The porn, it's not as exciting, huh? The likes don't hit the same. So you need more, stronger doses, better graphics, more extreme content, newer phones, bigger screens, faster internet. You're not living in the information age anymore. You're drowning in the simulation age. Your brain's reward system is so fried from constant dopamine hits that real life feels like it's playing in slow-mo. Nothing's ever enough because everything's too much. Watch how your mind works now. Can't sit through a movie without checking your phone, huh? Can't read a book without your thoughts scattered like broken glass. Can't even have a conversation without half of your brain itching for a screen. You're everywhere and nowhere at once, present but absent, connected but alone. How fucked up is that? And that's not an accident. It isn't. This is the end game of attention engineering. They turned your focus into a commodity, and business is booming. Every notification, every autoplay, every infinite scroll is another hook in your brain. You're not just being entertained, you're being harvested. Think about your daily rituals now. Wake up, check phone, eat breakfast, watch YouTube, work while checking Reddit, game to unwind, scroll until sleep. Somewhere in that loop, a real human being got lost. A man with potential got buried under layers of artificial experiences. Your brain's not designed for this shit. It can't handle infinite novelty, endless dopamine, constant stimulation. That's why you feel burnt out, but can't rest. Tired, but can't sleep. Connected, but you can't relate with nobody. Your mental hardware is running software it was never meant to possess. Remember when post-nut clarity used to mean something? Now you're nutting to pixels multiple times a day, and the only clarity you get is that emptiness getting deeper. Your dick's working fine, but your soul's got ED. You can't even get hard for real life anymore because reality can't compete with the highlight reel you've been mainlining. Those video games you're grinding? They're Skinner boxes designed by psychologists to keep you pulling the lever. Those social media feeds that you're scrolling through, slot machines built to exploit your social instincts. The adult entertainment you watch, it's rewiring your brain to prefer screens to skin. You've got gaming chair posture and tech neck. Your testosterone's lower than your grandpa was at 80. Your attention span shorter than a TikTok video. And your dopamine receptors are so down-regulated that a sunset doesn't do shit for you anymore unless you could post it on Instagram. They've got you thinking this is normal, that being constantly wired in is just a part of modern life. Needing multiple screens to feel alive is progress. That being unable to sit with your own thoughts is just how things are now. You're like those lab rats with the electrode in their pleasure center, hitting a button until they forget to eat. Except your electrode is in your pocket, your hand, your room, your life. You're surrounded by buttons to push, and each one takes a little piece of your humanity. The worst part isn't even the time you're wasting or the life you're not living. It's that these artificial pleasures are stealing your ability to enjoy the real ones. Real conversations feel boring because they don't move at internet speed. Real women can compete with the instant variety of porn. Real achievements feel pointless because they don't come with the achievement unlocked animation. You see, you've been cyberpunked, but not in a cool way with neon lights and robot arms. You're living in the boring dystopia where men willingly plug themselves into digital pacifiers and letting their muscles atrophy and their spirits die while their avatars level up. Something's happening to men and nobody wants to talk about it, honestly. We're seeing generations of guys who hit 30 with the life skills of a teenager. The body's adult, but the mind's stuck in permanent adolescence, living like every day's a Saturday morning when you're 15. Just swap the cartoons for anime and action figures for Funko Pops. Your dad knew how to change oil, fix things around the house, handle his business. You know how to optimize your Steam library and manage your Discord server. He built equity. You built gaming PCs. He invests in real estate. You are investing in NFTs. He knew his neighbors. You know your Twitch streamer's entire backstory. What the fuck? And society's giving you a pat on the back for it. Age is a number, they'll tell you. You're valid whatever you do. That's what they say. The same system that's infantilized you is now validating your arrested development. How convenient for them. Eternal children make perfect consumers. You know those isekai anime you watch, where some loser gets transported to a fantasy world and suddenly he becomes a hero? That's the dream they're selling you. That somewhere, somehow, your gaming skills and internet knowledge will suddenly become valuable. That you'll get the protagonist moment without doing the protagonist work. But reality doesn't have a power-up sequence. You don't get to montage your way through personal growth. Those calluses on your hands from your controller, they don't count as life experience. That encyclopedic knowledge of Marvel movies, it's not making you any better. It's fucking useless. The system's got you thinking adulthood is a scam. That responsibility is a trap. That growing up means giving up. So you stay in this limbo, physically mature but emotionally stunted. Old enough to drink, but not grown enough to face reality sober. Look at your consumption habits. Energy drinks instead of coffee. Chicken nuggets instead of learning to cook a steak. Gaming chairs instead of building equity in something. A business, a house, your dream maybe. It's not about the things themselves. It's about what they represent. A refusal to evolve. A dedication of comfort to overgrowth. Your room looks like a teenager's, except the toys are more expensive now. Your diet hasn't evolved since college. Your idea of personal finance is having enough left over for the next game to release. You're not living, brother. You're existing in an extended tutorial that never ends. The corporations love this shit. A grown man with a child's impulse control is a gold mine. They know you'll pre-order games you'll never finish, buy collectibles that collect dust, subscribe services that you barely use. Your disposable income is disposing your potential. That voice in your head saying, I'll get serious later, it's been saying that for years now, hasn't it? Later never comes because they've made now too comfortable. Why face the pain of growth when you can just level up another character? Why build real skills when you can watch YouTube tutorials and feel like you're learning? Your body's sending you signals, but you're too digitally drunk to read them. That anxiety, it's not just chemicals. It's existential. The depression, it's not just mental, bro. It's spiritual. Your soul knows you're capable of more, but the comfort, your comfort addiction, it keeps you stuck. You're like a lion raised in captivity, full of dormant potential, but lacking the skills to hunt. Your instincts are still there, buried under layers of artificial comfort and digital distraction. That restlessness that you're feeling, it's your true nature fighting against your nurture. You're dying. Not the dramatic, quick kind of death, but the slow, comfortable kind. The kind where your spirit checks out years before your body. You're breathing, but you're not alive. Existing, but not living. Yeah, and your heart's beating, true, but it's not pumping anything meaningful through your veins anymore. Look at your heroes now. Not the ones on your screens, your real ones. The grandfather who survived at war, that uncle who built his business from nothing, that old man at the gym who's still stronger than you'll ever be. They didn't have half of the comforts you have, but they had something you don't. They were alive in their own lives. The system's got you living in third person, watching your life instead of living it. Everything's content. Everything's meta. Everything's ironic. You can't even experience a moment without thinking about how you'll post about it later. Your life's become a show you're watching, and it's not even a good one. Your relationship with reality is through a screen. Food, gotta snap it first. Sunset, gotta put it on the story. Workout doesn't count without the post. You're more concerned with documenting life than living it, more focused on representation than the reality. Remember actual pride, not the kind you get from fake internet points or gaming achievements. Real pride, the kind that comes from building something with your hands, from pushing through when everything hurts, from standing for something when it costs you something. Our ancestors bred wolves into dogs. The system's doing the same to men, making them safer, softer, and more domesticated, training them to respond to digital treats and social media rewards, teaching them to sit, stay, consume. Good boy, here's your dopamine hit. The digital world promised to make you more connected. Instead, it made you more isolated. You've got thousands of followers, but no real friends. Hundreds of matches, but no real connections. Infinite content, but no real conversation. You're alone, together with millions of other alone people. And that depression you're feeling, that's not just chemical imbalance. That's your spirit throwing up warning signals. That anxiety isn't just neurons misfiring, man. It's your soul trying to wake you up. That emptiness you try to fill with games and porn and endless scrolling, that's the hole where your real life should be. You got subscriptions to every streaming service, but no subscription to your own life. Premium access to infinite content, but no access to your own potential. You're verified on Twitter, bro? Damn, but you're unknown to yourself? How sad is that? You're ranked in games, but in real life, you're unranked as fuck. You're probably a bronze. The truth about this good life they're selling you, it's a sophisticated form of slavery. They've made the chains comfortable, wrapped them in RGB lights, called them convenience, entertainment, connection. But chains are chains, whether they're made of iron or ones and zeros. Your mind's so scrambled by constant stimulation that you can't even recognize real satisfaction anymore. You're chasing digital dragons, pursuing virtual victories, hunting algorithmic approval. The real world feels boring because reality can't compete with that engineered excitement you're addicted to. The system doesn't want warriors anymore. It wants workers and consumers. It doesn't need strong men. It needs stable users. It doesn't want your greatness. It wants only your attention. And you're giving it exactly what it wants, a docile, distracted, domesticated version of what you could have been. Morpheus was right. The Matrix is a prison for your mind. But our version doesn't need floating pods or machines harvesting energy. Our prison is built from comfort, constructed from convenience, powered by pleasure. You're not just in the prison. You're paying rent to stay there. The system's greatest trick, making slavery feel like freedom, making consumption feel like creation, and weakness feel like strength. You're not choosing. You're selecting from pre-approved options. And you're not living, brother. You're following a script written by algorithms and advertisers. Your phone's got more computing power than what took us to the moon, but you're using it to scroll through memes and watch other people live. Your access to knowledge is literally infinite today, but you spend hours watching gaming streams and reaction videos. You can learn anything, build anything, become anyone. But the path of least resistance always wins, doesn't it? They sold you the dream of digital freedom, and yet you ended up with digital feudalism, renting your entertainment, subscribing to your distractions, paying monthly fees to stay connected to a world that's disconnecting you from yourself. You don't own anything anymore, not even your attention. And the darkness you feel creeping in at 3 a.m. when the notifications stop and the screens go dark, that's not your mind playing tricks. That's your soul doing a system diagnostic. It's realizing something's wrong. It's the nameless dread you feel when you're alone with your thoughts. You know what that is? That's your authentic self trying to break through the firewall of bullshit they built around your consciousness. You're trapped in a cycle of infinite consumption and zero creation. You take in everything and you produce nothing. living through others' experiences while your own life slips away in 15-second increments. The machine doesn't need change when it has algorithms. What's the point in having guards when there's notifications? And you don't even need walls when it has screens. You're not going to wake up in a pot of goo. You're already in one. It's called your comfort zone. And it's killing everything that could have made you great. Your ancestors survived ice ages. They crossed oceans, built civilizations. You can't survive a power outage without having a panic attack. They faced their fears. You watch reaction videos of other people facing theirs. Meanwhile, they built empires. You're building playlists. This isn't about technology being evil. It's about how they weaponize it against your potential. Every notification, every autoplay, infinite scroll, all that is designed to keep you docile, distracted, dependent. Your attention span's not shortening by accident, man. It's being deliberately destroyed. You're living in a world designed to turn men into mice. Click the button, get the cheese. Tap the screen, get the dopamine. Watch the content, consume the product. Repeat the cycle. They don't need to break your body when they can domesticate your mind. That vague feeling that something's wrong, the little quiet voice saying you're meant for more, that's not anxiety or depression or imposter syndrome. That's your true nature fighting against this digital cage. That's the real you trying to break free from the comfortable prison they built around your consciousness. You see, the red pill isn't a pill at all. It's the moment you realize that everything making you comfortable is making you weak. Everything promising to connect you is isolating you. Everything claims to entertain you is really enslaving you. You're not just watching the Matrix, you're streaming it, subscribing to it, getting notifications from it. And unlike Neo, there's no dramatic moment of awakening, no Morpheus to unplug you. There's no epic battle sequence. There's just you, your choices, and the quiet voice inside that knows this isn't living. That voice getting louder each time you close the apps, turn off the screens, and face the silence they've taught you to fear. The prison is real. The chains are digital. And the key? It's been in your hands the whole time. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope this message resonates with a lot of men in the modern world today. Took me a minute to get this one put together, and I hope that it gets a lot of men to wake up and realize kind of that the trap that they're in this digital world. So if you like to see more episodes like this, if you appreciate content like this, follow me on the second channel if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment below. Thoughts on this episode, critiques. Appreciate everybody that's been tuning in the private community, joining us on the calls, doing the private consults. Man, you guys have been amazing. Look forward to speaking with you all multiple times a week. And as usual, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and all the support. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.